Okay. Hi, my name is Morgan Frost. My major is business law and I'm a freshman. Our startup idea is a car wash. It's not just going to be a regular car wash, an automatic one. It's going to be like a human run car wash so we can provide better service. On it being a human run car wash was to make our service good so customers will keep coming back. Our car wash has all kinds of services. We dry the cars at the end so they leave shining and like they don't get any streaks. We also offer for the cars to be detailed for a little bit more and clean the entire thing. Our thoughts in doing the car wash, like why we chose that as our business, was because it is like very cheap to run. Like I talked to multiple people and they said that it takes like pennies to wash high profit margin. Okay, someone else can go.
So my name is Eric S. Vander. My major is financial planning, and I'm a junior this year. And my question was, who are our competitors in this market, and what our advantages over the competitors would be? So our competitors would basically be anybody else who has has a car wash, such as places like gas stations, different car dealerships, and differently privately owned operations, which we would be ourselves. The advantages that we would have over these different competitors would be that we'd have a detail shop, which not a lot of privately owned operations have, which is more of like a deep cleaning, and it offers like a better clean for the car, so the customer leaves more satisfied. Also, we'd have like a self-service drying, which after like the auto car wash, which the goes through, if it's just like a vacuum dry, it'll leave like wet spots. So with the self-service drying, it will get rid of those wet spots, and will make it better with for the customer there. And we'll also be having the self-service, which would kind of reflect on like a Chick-fil-A atmosphere. So we'd get more connected with our consumer. And ultimately, with these factors, it would push and sway the consumer to stop at our car wash over our competitors.
So my name is Max Gilliam. I'm a senior. My major is personal financial planning. And I had question 3. Do you think you can conduct part or all of your business over the internet? Please elaborate. My answer is yes, mostly. And we do that in a few ways. The first one is through an online review system, which would be done through either our website and then possibly a social media link. We can chart and analyze reviews there and try to be as engaged as possible with our customers without actually being in person with them. That's pretty important during COVID. We can set up appointments online. Again, especially important during COVID. So that's going to help us cut down on staffing costs. We don't have to pay a secretary or anybody to set up appointments. It's going to have more consistent demand throughout the day, meaning there's no big rushes at certain hours and lull periods. And then it's also going to help with speed. And then we also have a complaint and question system that can be set up through the website and through a social media link. So you'd fill out a form and then basically submit it and go right to our team through an email, and we can respond within 24 hours. We can also use social media and the internet to promote the business, using maybe some before and after pictures of cars and pictures of the team. Yeah.
All right, my name is Dylan Downey. I'm an ISM major. I'm a sophomore. And I had question number 4, which is how social media can help you better your company. And then please elaborate. And I said that social media is a great way to promote our company, such as we could use Instagram to post, like Max said, that we could post like the cars before and after picture to show like how clean we make them. And we could also use social media such as email to effectively communicate with our employees and distribute information quickly. Rather than just using like your cell phone group chats and all that, we can just use like an email system and get information out quickly. Social media will also allow us it's a great source of communication along with being a huge platform for us to promote our company and make us better than our competitors. And that's all I had.
All right. I'm Dustin Fuller. I'm a finance major. I'm a senior. I had question number 5, which is, are there any disruptive or latest technologies in the industry for your startup? I had a couple of things to add to that, but yes, there are some things. So at first we have mega trends, which are things that happen within society that you can't really control as a business. So say one of the new mega trends is the environment friendly standards that we have as a society now that we're trying to kick into place, or renewable resources, renewable what am I trying to say? Tell me what I'm trying to say. What is it? It's like renewable. Jesus, I can't think of it. Okay. Well, it's a resource, and it's like the sun and the wind and things like that. And so it's environmentally friendly. And so the way that we have to cope with that as a business, as a car wash, would have to be to adjust our business plan around having like electric cars or fewer cars, or just being able to know that we have to have certain types of soaps that can't be within the environment, or that we could get slapped with FDA and just weird like restrictions on our business, so that we'd have to be able to cope with things like that in the future, so that we could make our product still lean enough to get out to the customer and make a decent sized profit margin without having to reel back and reset our business to operate. Also, I had that we would have a harder time digitalizing at first. I wouldn't say necessarily harder time, but I would say the startup cost would be high at first to try and build in software and a cloud computing system that you would have to keep track of financial records, employee records, just being able to be in line with government standards, being able to take taxes out accordingly and help your employees at the end of the year. It's just a lot of things that go together with tying in a business that would help to digitalize. You don't necessarily have to, but nowadays, if you don't, you're kind of behind to start with in the first place. So you could do paper trails and all of that stuff, but it won't help in the long run unless you digitalize first to try and be on the same competitive standard that your other competitors are. We also had a big data would be a problem if we franchised out our tags. So say like we started up a car wash and then we franchised it because it became successful. You could franchise it out, but then you would have to be able to look back and see like what your customers' problems are, what your social media presence is, what's the main thing that's being bought at your locations, how your locations have been cooperating together. It's just a bunch of data that you have to try and structure to try and find and analyze trends, to try and make sure that you can exploit those trends to make sure that you're a successful business. This would take a lot of machine to machine digitalization. So say like just communications, email, sensors for actual machines so that they work when you drive in front of things, so that the car actually gets washed, or we haven't really discussed the whether it's a manual or it's an auto. I guess we'd want it to be an auto, correct?
Yeah, automatic.
Yeah, that's what sorry. Yeah, so we'd want it to be auto. We'd need sensors. We would need the machinery to be able to function with either an auto or a manual override, just to make sure that it would work in case the machinery got old and depreciated out. You'd have to manually go in and make sure that someone gets their car washed for the money that they paid. I think that all in all, there are a bit of disruptive qualities for the technology that we would be having, but you wouldn't have to start up necessarily immediately trying to like jump into the higher end technologies. Like a startup, you don't want to incur a crap ton of cost at the beginning and then like peter out because you can't take back on the loan that you pulled out. So I think that there are disruptions, but at the beginning it should be less. And I think the further on you get with franchising and trying to grow a business, there will become more because that's just how society is and how megatrends will ultimately grow your business. So I think that's good for me.
There were a lot of small and tedious decisions that we had to decide for our car wash, like advertising and how to make it better than everyone else so that people would choose us over anyone of the other car washes because it's such a big industry. So for advertising, we decided to do one of the little punch cards like you get at the pizza places. And we're doing buy 10 car washes, get one free. And if you have to do it all with the same priced option because that's going to be your free one too. Like you can't get all the cheap ones and then get the expensive free car wash. We're also going to give out coupons either like on the back of Kroger receipts or like when kids will go around selling like the coupon books for fundraising, we can put it on those because it will attract a lot more people because the kids are going to sell it to like all of their parents' coworkers and just a ton of people. Another way to attract more people is that we're going to make it as eco-friendly as possible, which is going to be hard. But for instance, we're going to be using reusable rags. So when we're detailing cars and drying them off, we can just like use a few throughout the day and then wash them at night and then use them the next day too. Also, one of the big decisions is we need to decide where it should be. We didn't want it on the same street as another car wash, but we also wanted it in a very populated area. So we just have to figure out a place that does not have a lot of car washes, but they're gonna need a lot of car washes. We also need to decide what people will do while their car is being detailed. So first they're going to show up and they have to get out of their car, obviously, because they have to do the inside of the car. So the people can go into the lobby, and there's going to be a few TVs set up, so like they're not just sitting there really bored. And it should only take like 20 minutes or less, so they're not going to be sitting there for long. And so after that, they're going to get in their car and go through the car wash themselves so the workers don't have to drive their cars. And then after that, they get their car dried off. And we also offer a waxing, so if they want that, they can get that too. And another decision was we need to decide what the prices are going to be for like the different services. So it's going to be grouped together. So like one group is just going to be the car wash. The second group is going to be the car wash and the detailing. And the third is going to be all of them, including the waxing. All of the services will provide the hand drying so they get the best results. That's going to be like one of our main things that differentiates us from other places and like makes us stand out. Another thing that we wanted was like there's some cool car washes with like the rainbow soap and stuff. So we decided we're going to do that because it will for sure attract the younger people. And honestly, it might attract the older people too because it looks cool and it's really just fun to look at. Lastly, we need to make our website. So either one of us need to figure out how we're going to set that up, and if like none of us can because it is quite difficult, then we need to pay someone to design it and create it for us. Oh, lastly, our team name is going to be the All Stars. Thank you.